Come on. Come on.
Yes, YouTube, welcome back to another video. Gonna be a little bit quiet. Lucy's asleep. It is 20 to 8, and this is the earlier session, so I'm gonna show you what I do for that. First of all, we're gonna knock these down. Electrolytes got the gummy worms flavour, and they are unreal. So that's got ready, obviously. It's first up, and then we make the food, and then we got the pre, which is gonna be lemon sherbet. So if you do train in the morning, hydrate. That is the most important thing. Hydrate, electrolytes. There's one of these. Bash. Cheers. And then, boys, good old lemon. And then again, if you're training in the morning, carbs are key. So we're gonna make the oats. One of the keys is this. Essential, mate. Nice. So I'm gonna make my oats. I'm in the car, we've still got plenty of time. Just running this everywhere, bro. I'll give you an update on what's going on, boys, and what we want to do if we train in the morning. So let's get oats made. Way of choice, carrot cake on the oats. I'm telling you, if you have not tried that, that is top tier. I don't even really like carrot cake that much. Like actual carrot cake. I've eaten it probably a couple of times. That, mate. Right, boys, so we've eaten the oats. We're on the way. I'm not speeding, am I? No, I'm not. Oats, jam, peanut butter, fruit, whey, then 2 squares bars. That is the pre, because food is up. Also, fellas, form code now is Luke25. So if you use the Luke20 code, you're an absolute legend. And we now get even more off. So that is unreal. Save more money and enjoy. I genuinely have used Perform for years, like absolute years. I would say the first, at least 3-4 years now. Luke25 is the new code for that. So for me, staples, electrolytes, pre, which we're gonna sink in a second. And then obviously just the whey. Right now I've got lemon cheesecake, carrot cake, mint chop, and white chocolate. So I've got a nice spread. I put this powder in when it was already wet at the bottom, so I don't think this is gonna be great, but we'll give them a shake and we should be good. But anyway, Ben has moved food up, boys. So we are now, today, on 3,800 calories, which is pretty wild, to be fair. I think that's the most food I will have consistently been on. I think I ate 4,000 calories for like a week once when I didn't know what I was doing when I was like 17. That wasn't a pretty look, and that definitely won't be happening again. Well, the 4K bike, but it's a much better 4K that's actually needed. So 3.8. Essentially, Ben just wanted to increase the rate of gain. It was very slowly coming up, but we were pretty much locked in at 87, so he's just giving me that extra little bit of a push now. I was actually 87. I was the same weight as yesterday on the first day of that food, so that should start to push on now. So yeah, 3.8 coming in today. So it's a good bit of food, and that's why there's no excuse now with these sessions to get in and get it done. So when you're training in the morning, make sure you do get some carbohydrates. The reason I have such a big meal, because I've got so much food to eat now through the day, like, because I don't rush training, like I'll take my time a little bit. I don't want to cram loads of food in. Like in a diet phase, I don't mind just kind of backloading food a little bit more. But especially like today now, if I don't eat that, you know, I don't want to be cramming those meals too close together, and digestion gets a little bit off when that happens as well. So carbs are in. Say if you train like really early in the morning, we want something super fast acting. So say like a banana and squares bar, crumpets, jam, hydrate, electrolytes, get into the gym there early doors. That's always a good one. Remember them carbs converted into glycogen. That glycogen's what we're using as energy whilst we're training, right? So obviously any later in the day, you should be all set with that, but you still need to, you know, cover yourself and look at that pre. And then especially in the morning, that's what you can do, just to prioritize those carbs a little bit when it's early. But yeah, make sure you hydrate. If you go in hydrated, that'll be the worst thing. So what I do on a Saturday is I just pretty much get up at 7 and then get straight to the gym. So that's what we've done today. I like to get it just, obviously it's not early. I usually get up at 5:30, so I let myself sleep a little bit, but I'll usually go to bed a little bit later. So it's the similar sleep, to be fair. And then I'll get this session boxed off early then on the Saturday morning. Then I'm done for the day. Then I'm not out all day, especially like where I've just drove through there. The traffic gets terrible as well when I'm on the way back. So in the morning, it's not going to be as bad. We're in for pull. So I'll talk you through exactly what we've got. I'll finish this. We'll get in there. Right, fellas, we'll show you the whip as well, because I'm so happy that I got it, to be honest. Like, inside is really, really nice. I've got all my crap here, but in terms of cream seats, like, I love the seats. I love the inside. So it is nice, to be fair. I am happy with it. I'll get out and get my bag and I'll show you. And to be fair, I'm still not used to how big it is. X4M. And I am very happy with it. And it is quick as well. It does shift. It does definitely shift. But I think because leg day, having an automatic, like, that's one of the most, that's one of the best things ever, literally, with having automatic for legs. But yeah, this was a good choice. I'm very happy with it, boys, so let me know what you think. Right, fellas, abs up first. You'll see with these ones, I'm thinking about spinal flexion. That means basically you will see me rounding over and contracting my abs. What you don't want to do when you do these on the cable is just move straight up and down, like just let your torso move up and down. You want to crunch over. Think about your spine bending. Contract your abs, come up into that stretch, and then just repeat that process. Don't start to just like move your chest towards the floor and let your hips move around. Try and keep your hips locked, and then just think about arching over, crunching over, contracting there. So what I do is I start with 3 sets of these, get them nailed, and then we're on to our lat work to start. So if you've got those, don't just move it up and down, just think about, right, how can we get that spinal flexion? How can we arch over, feel them contract? You will connect so much better, you'll get so much more stimulus out of those as well. So make sure you're nailing your abs. I log them the same, and I progress them the same. When I get lean, that will pay off. So that, boys, was 6 reps, new load. So when we're here on lats, first thing, especially if you start to use a decent bit of load, make sure, you see I've got the plates in front of the bench, because if I don't have them now, the bench will just fly forward. So 220 plates there, first of all, and then you'll see straps on. Stabilizing with my resting arm, that is very, very, very important. And then all I'm thinking about doing is, right, driving the elbow down level with my rib cage, and then you'll see just that upper arm just wants to be angled as an extension of the cable. So it's just part of that cable. Let that come straight through. Let the arm lengthen first, and then just think about where do we need to get to fully lengthen the lat. So don't just let that shoulder drift forwards. Let the whole arm lengthen, and then, right, okay, do we need to let that come out a little bit more to get that stretch? Feel that stretch. Drive through. Have a pause in both. You can make sure you aren't overextending, you aren't losing tension, and you aren't cutting range as well. So think about just that elbow driving down, hold that, contract, keep that low. Imagine you're pushing that away from you, that elbow. Keep that tension on the lats. Have a little pause in the stretch as well, and then drive through. Like that for me was only 6 reps. That's just below my rep range, to be fair. It's just quite a big jump on these cables, but I'll run that up now. But you can see I've still got a hell of a lot of time and attention. And that's why, like, even 6 reps there, don't get me wrong, I want that to be 7, 8, 9 and upwards, but my lat is still on fire after that. Still got a lot of time and attention there. So take your time with them, nail them, and then make sure, like I'm doing now, you take as long as you need before you go into your other arm. Because I've just taken that to failure. No way I can jump straight into my other arm. So I'm going to do right side now and match 6 reps. That is heavy now, mate. That's my top set now of lat row. So we're 2 off the stack. You'll see, right, when anyone does seated row, lat row especially, we don't want that torso to move. So you see, once I get locked in, right, so straps on, locked in, get myself in position, right, torso is fixed, pretty much just straight upright. Imagine that is locked in stone. The only thing moving then is that arm. So what you want to think about, if you drop your elbow down, you will feel your lat switch on. If you do that right now, if you just drop your elbow down, you'll feel your lat switch on, right? We're then just thinking about dragging that elbow straight back until it's level with your rib cage. If you spend a bit of time there, you will feel your lat contract. If you drive back past your rib cage, you will start to retract. You'll start to get more of that mid-back, upper back engagement. We don't want that. So elbow low, upper arm stays tucked. It's only a short row, this, for lats. So level with rib cage. Then we're not just releasing. I'm thinking about, right, my lat's contracted. keep the tension on. So elbow stays low. Again, think about extending that arm first. Okay, how far do we need to get into that stretch? Spend a bit of time there and drag that back. And if you do that, your lats will be fried. Like you see that last rep, it took me a while to get that in because my rib cage is locked and I'm just being patient. I get my breath on my eccentric. I can take that to true failure. I feel now, so that's 3 working sets for my lats. My lats are on fire. 1 more of these, toasted. And you know, I started pretty much halfway up this stack and we're 2 off the stack with nice control, nice pauses. So lats, pull downs, rows. Watch this video back if you have to. You will feel your lats doing these things, I promise you. And then next up after this, lats is done. We've got a mid to upper back focus pull down. So moving on from just solely lats, it's going to be a bit of a complete back movement. So we want a bit more mid back engagement. You see, I'm going to essentially push these handles away. So I'm going to push forward. I'm going to really lengthen everything out. Of course, there'll be some lats here, but we're keeping a higher upper arm path. And we're actually thinking about driving that upper arm back a lot more. So we're going to get a lot more than just lats. And this is just a good all-round back movement. So we're gradually coming away from lats. We've got lats, then this, and then next up is going to be like as upper back can possibly get. So we're basically transitioning just into upper back there in this session, with it being a bit more of a lat focused session. So pushing away, keeping a higher upper arm path. If we wanted like strictly upper back, probably better off going for a cable here and keeping a much higher upper arm path there. But these ones I do really like. I feel my back's pumped. So we've got 2 sets of these, and then you'll see coming up next is going to be solely upper back. And what I'm thinking about on the low row is I'm making sure, right, it's basically a shrug and a row together. So essentially I'm just trying to get that upper back musculature short. I will just assist that as much as it needs to with my actual elbow coming back. But what I'm thinking about is retraction and shrugging up, and then protraction. So shoulders coming forward, lengthen everything out, and then thinking about driving my shoulder blades back and up and locking that in. So it's not just a shrug, like fixed. It is a little bit of a row as well. Basically, as long as I can get that upper back musculature short, spend time there, this is absolutely unreal, and my upper back is toasted. So if you want something that's gonna nail your traps, nail your upper back, and you've got a low row, say you could use a normal low row on your other pull session, you could do this variation on your other pull session. I don't like this really as just a low row because it comes out so wide, whereas just with this and really retracting, it works pretty much perfectly, so it fits in bang on. So that for upper back is probably my favorite in this gym. So with biceps now, the main thing for me is just completely flicking that switch. Like if you have biceps at the end, don't just treat them as you've got biceps at the end. For me, I train back first, and then I flick the switch completely and smash bis like it's a completely different session on its own. As long as I do that, I'm all good. So keeping it nice and simple. I've got a curl where my upper arm is in front of me on here, and nice full stretch, contract hard. I've then got a curl on the bench downstairs where I'll really open up into that stretch, challenge that length and range, keep that upper arm behind me. So obviously I'm locked in on the preacher curl when I'm downstairs on the bench. I have it on quite a low incline, really open up and get that stretch. Do not bounce out of your curls like this. Spend time in that stretch, rinse them, and then keep the upper arm locked and drive through. So I attack all of these and progress them, and then it's fine having them at the end as long as they do get absolutely nailed and I'm not half-arsing them. So if you've got the same in terms of your programming with pull, make sure you flick that switch. You cannot go wrong with, if we've got a curl where our upper arm is by our side or in front of us, like a preacher curl, and then we've got a face away cable curl, we've got an incline dumbbell curl, cannot go wrong with those. Control, full stretch, contract hard, full send them. That's what we need.
First of all, boys, ignore what I've got in my beard next. When I take my glasses off, I'm blind. So I don't even know what it is, but let's just pretend it's not there.
Fellas, big session, very big session. I'll play a little clip or a picture, whatever I've got, of where we're currently at now. This is high 87s. So, you know, we're climbing up there in scale weight now. Like my midsection now does get a little bit softer, but you'll see the look when we get lean. And that new muscle will be because of this pushing now. Like, obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of, you know, like this condition now. I wouldn't like to stay here year round, but for what we're doing, like, this is the biggest push I've ever had, essentially. Like, I need that for more muscle. I've got to push that, so I've got to get a little bit uncomfortable and just embrace that and trust Ben with what we're doing, which again is why when you second guess, like, I've coached for 10 years, right? Like, it's so easy to second guess yourself when it's yourself. So for me, having Ben there is just like really, really valuable there, because I just do what I'm told, crack on, make sure I'm working hard, give honest feedback, and that's that. And that's what you can give to your coach. And that's why I love coaching, because, you know, that's what we do. Take the guesswork away, make sure you're being pushed to your full potential. Like, that's what we need. So if you do need that push, nice little application form, super simple. It will take you 1 minute, if that, in the description, and I will be in touch. You will get an application response video sent over to you on WhatsApp there. So give a breakdown of your goals and I'll be in touch. And yeah, with the car, I've had a few questions about the car and what it is. And, you know, I hate like, oh, look at this, look at that. Like, that's never what I would want to like show off with anything, really. I just don't, it's not a big driver for me. I would have found it very valuable to see that back when I was really, really struggling. So I think I put myself off ever like saying I cared about nice things or anything like that, just because I knew I could not afford it. Like 3 years ago, I could not have even I wasn't even thinking about a car, and I think I'd just switched that part of my brain off. And I always, like, at some point I would like to get a really, really nice car, but I always remember when I used to PT at the gym, in the car park in there was a BMW. I can't remember which one it was exactly because it's ages ago, so like this wasn't even a thing. I can't remember which one, but I always thought, do you know what, if I was getting like a big car, a nice car, I would love one of them. So to get that is pretty wild. Like, that literally comes just from grafting. So that is what I would take. Like, I take that a lot from people. When I see people getting something or doing well or leveling up, like, I don't see that as, oh, like a negative thing and push to be negative. That is class for me to see, because I know, right, if you graft, you can keep on moving forward and you can keep on getting these things and getting that things and setting yourself up with this and setting yourself up with that. Like, if you told me when the gym closed in the middle of lockdown, I essentially didn't have a job. So if you said, right, you'll have got the house you wanted with Lucy, you'll be in that car, like, that's wild, right? And that, again, that doesn't come from doing anything dodgy. That comes from grafting, like genuine graft. So that's why, again, I like to share that, because for my younger self, I used to always look at people doing that same thing. So essentially, if that is you now, graft. Get your head down and graft. Like, trust me, if I've done that in that space of time, you can do that in that space of time. But you've got to graft. Like, you've got to get very good at what you're doing, and you've got to put the fucking hours in. Like, trust me, I put the hours in. Like, it's not just something that pops up. Believe me, it takes its toll, and there's a lot of sacrifice in that time. But yeah, that's why I wanted to share that, because a lot of you know, are clients who have been with me since the very beginning, or you've watched the videos for a while now. So to see it is pretty cool, and that's why I appreciate any support on the channel. And obviously, all clients, absolute legends. I love every single one of them. So let's get home, boys. Let's get home. But yeah, that's the whip. So yeah, nice, no stalling for me, which is lovely. And we've got a lot of food to eat. We'll see what Lucy's doing. Yeah, apart from that, it's pissing down. So lovely.
So I've just edited this video, boys, for you that you are watching right now. So, a couple of exciting things. We are filming a brand new exercise tutorial, myself and Cody, for all the clients. So pretty much we need to cover every single movement. We won't be able to do that all in one go, but we're going to get a good chunk of them done. And then the start of next month, we've got the next team day as well. You'll have seen that on the socials last time if you follow me. We're going to get over to Scotland and get that done over 2 days, so that is going to be good. We're very excited for that one. So a lot of exciting things coming. Next video, I'll probably run you through a full day of eating, because obviously food has changed again. That is the most food, that is the highest food has been. So if you've got any questions with food, anything you want me to cover, let me know. Thank you very much for watching. Please sub if you are not subbed. Thank you for watching this far. Drop a like, drop a comment. I'll see you in the next one, boys. Peace.